Maisie May, I have lived, I have laughed, and I have loved with you. But I won't let you and Wayne hold this girl boss back anymore. I'd hoped that you could support me on my journey to real estate micro-influencer, but I won't be bullied by your exquisite face anymore.
Hi, everyone. I hope that you're doing well. And if you're not doing well, that's okay too. Just know that it's temporary. So I am with my new friend, Natalie. How do you say your name? Lisinska?
Lisinska.
Lisinska?
Lisinska.
Okay,
Yeah.
Natalie Lisinska. Where's that from? Like, what last
It's
name?
Polish.
Cool.
Mhm.
Well, how are you?
Yes, I'm good. I'm really good. I just came back from this big, beautiful dog walk. I'm really lucky
Mm.
to live near a forest. And so, like, almost every day, or as much as I can, I take my dogs for like an hour-long walk through the forest. And it's like, oh, it's wonderful. I'm very
Wow.
lucky.
You are
Mhm.
lucky. How grateful. And it's nice that you recognize that. Like you recognize that luck within you that you do live next to a forest. Speaking of nature, you were
Mhm.
on the hit TV show The Lake, which is actually where we met because I was a background actor in a couple of your scenes and I really fell in love with you. You're such a talented actress. First of all, you're
Oh,
very
thank you.
funny. And then also being on set with you, I was able to see like how professional you were as well. But also, being so sensitive to energy, I could just tell that you were just a loving being. So you played Jayne,
Oh, yeah.
which is also one of my favorite characters, not just to hype you up, but it's true. I love that character.
She's an amazing character. I
Yeah.
mean, the writers just gave me a gift. I was like, are you serious? Okay. She's amazing.
How much are you like that character? How much are you different? Or just talk about her. Talk about Jayne.
Terry Chen, who played Victor on the show. I mean, shooting the lake was such an incredible experience because it was like going to summer camp. So Terry had John Doerr, who plays Wayne. He had the two of us over one night just for like a bonfire and some drinks. And Terry was like, "Can I get either of you anything to drink?" And John was like, "Well, I brought some Bud Light." And I was like, "I've got half a bottle of rosé that I've already opened," and I started drinking. And Terry was like, "Okay, you guys are your characters."
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I think that every character that you play is in some way a facet of yourself.
Mm,
Even if you're playing a serial killer, like obviously you're not going to go out and like kill people, obviously, or I would hope not. But it is your job as an actor to defend your character. You have in your mind they are the lead character, no matter where they fit in the story.
right.
Because that's the way we all feel any day anyway, right? We are all the lead character of our own stories. So the character of Jayne came to me at a time in my life when I was feeling a bit lost and I was feeling insecure in my own body, as many women do when they start to get older. Like this, what I look like, which
Mm,
when you're young almost becomes your currency. Society places it at the forefront. It is your value. And then as you, as a woman, start to get older, it can feel like you are losing your value.
mm,
And then along came this character who was beautifully written, but who embodied exactly that.
mm,
Everything that Jayne was feeling, I identified with. Jayne doesn't feel like she's enough. She spent her whole life being compared to Maisie. She wants to be the highest status person on the lake, and she's trying so hard. And she's constantly failing over and over and over again. But there's also something that I found incredibly inspiring about what a hot mess she was.
yeah.
And it's like, Jayne is all of us.
Absolutely. That was so well said. I mean, you're beautiful and talented, so you do it well. And you played the
Oh,
character
thank
so
you.
well. Hmm.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now,
It was a real gift.
there's like a sense of embodying. It's kind of like what I when I teach in my yoga, it's sometimes that the brain can't tell what's real and what's not. So if we tell ourselves we're
Mhm.
beautiful and we're amazing, then we start to be that. But if we say we're ugly and we're stupid, well, then we start to think that as well. And actresses and actors, I feel like do that. They embody a certain role.
The body is an animal. Even if intellectually your brain understands that you are pretending and that you are in a scene and that what is happening is not real, sometimes your body doesn't know that.
Right.
and that your body can have reactions. I've been very lucky to get to do a lot of drama as well as comedy, which is one of the great things about working in Canada. In the United States, people can get sort of pigeonholed into one or the other, but in Canada,
Right.
there's a lot more opportunity to do both.
Absolutely.
So when I'm in comedy, I tend to be quite broad and like crazy, the crazy characters. But when I'm in drama, I tend to be like the crying person. And I've had
Mm,
days where I show up on set and then I just cry for 6 hours because sometimes that's how long it takes to shoot a scene. And at the end of a day like that, sometimes your body doesn't know
right.
that you've been pretending
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that you can have all the same physical responses to if you actually had been
Right.
crying the
Right. Yeah.
entire day. Um, and the same is true of scenes with violence.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have a scene where where there is a rape and you're going through and it's like it would be, I mean, I hope it would be, choreographed and you would be safe and you'd be working with your partner and you'd be working with a stunt coordinator and probably an intimacy coordinator as well. Even with all of that, you have to take care of yourself, to take care of the animal that is your body, that because it might not know that you didn't just go through trauma. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you need to have a bubble bath.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to go out with friends and go dancing. Maybe you need to binge watch a comfort TV show. I don't know, play a board game. Like what, it doesn't matter what it is, but what do you need to do right now to take care of yourself? Did I
Energy is
answer your question?
oh, hell yeah, you did. Hell yeah, you answered
Okay,
it so well. Well,
good.
I forget what my
Okay.
question was, but it was just beautiful words that
Who
you just,
cares?
yeah, who cares? Notice that as well. Energy is real. So it's like method acting similar, but like if two actors are arguing, that creates an energy. Like if we're yelling and stuff like that, like, then we're soaking it in and then we're taking it in and then we feel agitated. But before being psychic, I really studied performance art as well and acting and dancing and I love it all. But one thing I struggled with was the energy exchanges because energy is real. I remember I had to
Yeah.
play someone with IBS or just someone with like stomach issues. I swear to God, I had stomach issues that day. Like I feel like it develops because what we think we become. So if I'm thinking I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, well then it became it. Acting, it can be, I don't want to say dangerous, but just it takes mindfulness. You're right. That like if you're crying all day, okay, then you need to eat a cupcake and take a bubble bath.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
You are. Are you January or just January?
January 11th. Yep.
That's a Capricorn. That's a
Yep.
full-on Capricorn. Wow. I
Yeah.
believe in astrology. I do. Yeah, I believe we're influenced by the energy of the planets and the stars and the moon and the sun. And Capricorns, what I like is
Hmm.
that they're very driven and hardworking people. It's like they set goals and then they achieve
My
them.
son is a little Capricorn too, and it's so cute
Oh,
because I've talked to him about it, and he's 9,
yeah.
so he's started every now and then he'll be like Capricorn, like he'll like, and he's such a little Capricorn, like he likes sorting things, he likes things
Yeah.
to be organized. I'm like, oh, my little Capricorn.
Oh. And you have a husband,
Mhm.
right? A partner? Yeah.
Yeah,
What's his sign?
he's a Cancer.
Oh, so you guys are opposites. Capricorn and Cancer are opposites.
Yeah,
So he's probably very sweet
yeah.
and a little cutie, emotional.
Oh, and he loves the home. Like
I bet.
he is like
Yeah.
the grand architect of our home.
Cancer is like home, family, and Capricorn is a bit more like career achievement. So they complement each other so beautifully. So, how do you navigate the decision to take on roles for exposure, even if they may not align with your soul's ethics? For instance, being part of a commercial project you might not personally resonate with, but it offers significant financial gain.
This is a really good question. Eating is such a political minefield. I used to be, for a while, I was full on vegan and then I was vegetarian. I'm happiest when I'm eating like almost a plant-based diet. And so I don't think I would feel comfortable doing a commercial for like McDonald's or for a company that I can't even eat at. If there is something in the audition I fundamentally disagree with, I won't even audition for it.
Mm,
I'm getting pretty fed up with violence against women over and over again. I
Hmm.
using rape as a way to show how bad a bad guy is. I think that that's been done, and there are other creative ways to show how bad someone is, and that we don't have to keep seeing that over and over again.
Wow.
Just recently, an audition that came along who politically I don't think I necessarily align with.
Hmm.
However, the actual script I didn't have a problem with. It was funny. It was a well-written script. And so I auditioned for it. I didn't get
Oh.
it. And maybe, in a way I was actually quite relieved. That being said, sometimes do you have to engage with the beast in order to make your independent short film? It's a tricky question, and it's getting harder as the cost of living rises. It's getting more
Yeah.
challenging to make art. Artists everywhere I look, artists are struggling. It's hard right now. And so sometimes you do have to take the jobs where you're like, this is for the paycheck.
I'd like to pull a card and see what the topic
Okay.
of this card is, and to see if we should talk about this topic.
What's the deck that you're pulling from?
This one is from Kyle Gray. It's called Angels and Ancestors.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, you
Oh,
should
cool.
get
Oh,
it.
I'm
I
excited.
have a lot of cards too, and I was drawn towards this one. So maybe it's specifically for
Cool.
you. It's really beautiful. So I pulled the card Peacekeeper. It says, let go of
Oh,
the need to be right.
I think that that's something I struggle with a lot.
Mm,
And I sometimes wonder if it's a Capricorn thing.
yes.
Um, I mean, Capricorns are badasses. I sometimes say that I wish I could put that down on my resume, just like at the top,
You should.
just so
That's
you
such
know you're getting a
that's
Capricorn.
that's so Capricorn of you to say. Wow. Yep, you're right.
I know.
Yeah,
Something that I struggle with, I am used to being instantly good at things.
of course.
And if
Yeah.
I'm not good at something, I get frustrated. That's something that my husband noticed about me. My husband and I
Mm,
met on a show. We were cast opposite each other, and we were doing a promo thing in Ottawa where we were supposed to skate down the Rideau Canal together. But I can't skate. I'm 5'9". I've got a high center of gravity. I'm terrible on skate. And my husband was like, just skate, like just hold my hand, you'll be fine. And it was this funny thing where he was like, you just don't like not being good at something because you're used to always being good at things. And it was something that I had never noticed about myself. But
wow.
as soon as he pointed it out, it was like, oh my gosh, it's so true. And like ultimately now, like, because this was like 10 years ago. Now I almost look at it as like a gift that
Mm,
I can help my son with, because he does the same thing. And
of course.
genetics are fascinating. Like, did I pass that down to him? That's interesting.
Well, also he's a
But
Capricorn.
he's a Capricorn.
So that's
Yeah. Yeah. And so it reminds me of, we can do hard things.
hmm. There's a better reward when you practice towards something of it. Something you're not good at, then become it. That's very rewarding. You're right. So I'm a Gemini, if you know anything about Geminis, but
Okay.
Gemini is a very
Hmm.
different energy than Capricorn. Actually, so Geminis are known for being flexible and adaptable, very good with change. For instance, we had to reschedule this interview a couple times, and I was like, sure,
Yes. Thank
no
you.
problem. You're welcome. I'm a Gemini.
Yeah.
It's what we're good at. Things change. We're okay. We're good with the flow. But because we're so
Yeah.
flowy and all over the place, that sometimes we don't have that Capricorn structure, like Capricorn achievements, those goals. I'm much more like go with the flow, things change. That's okay. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere. So
Yeah.
in my life, I've always had the biggest struggles with Capricorn people just because we're
Oh,
so
interesting.
different. Yes. Um,
Uh-huh.
but right now, I'm like romantically seeing a Capricorn, which made me really have to figure things out. And so I studied Gemini, I
Yeah.
studied Capricorn, and really able to see how these energies are very different for sure. But I was able to see how
Mhm.
much they're complementary and how much we can help each other. For instance, Gemini loves
Mhm.
to learn new things. Capricorn doesn't. Capricorn likes to,
Be good
anyway,
at things. Yeah.
yeah, it's great that you are a Capricorn. I think it's weird how, like, I don't know, timing, everything happens for a reason that I'm speaking with you now.
Yeah.
And I can learn a lot from people like you, from the Capricorns. Yes. Also, what I would say, when I was on the lake on the show, it was one of my favorite productions just because everyone was just so friendly and so nice. And also just being like in nature, which is just something I love. So I don't know if that added to it. It was just like sunsets and gorgeous weather. I have my heart's at the lake. It really is. I love that show.
Every set is different. Like you said, the energy from the top of the call sheet down to the bottom, everybody in the crew, it was so inclusive and kind. Everyone seemed genuinely happy to be there. There was a golden retriever. Like it was
Mm.
so beautiful and happy all the time.
Well, I think it's because to the show itself, like the story, the creators, how progressive it is, with
Mhm.
LGBTQ characters and even like even with you and John, like that, like divorce and struggling with kids and stuff like that. Like that's also progressive in a way. So I think because it's so written that way, it like allowed a space for like inclusivity and oneness and like good vibes. So you could tell that there's just good energy in the creation the whole way through. Oh my gosh, Kate, I love you. Thank you so much. I wanted to ask you before we
Oh,
head on.
yeah.
Is there anything else you're working on right now? Is there any fun little things to like any? I feel like you're
Um,
writing something, right? Are you going to be writing something? Okay, we'll talk about it after.
did I
I don't
tell
know.
you that?
No, I'm picking up on something psychically. Are you writing something? You are, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, like no friend. Like I
I told you I'm a psychic
well, I'm
medium.
impressed. Like big time though.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Okay.
I yeah,
Is this a
I'm in the
secret?
process of making a pivot. Yes.
I
I
love
can't talk
it.
about what I'm writing,
Okay.
but
That's
I'm
okay.
that was crazy. That was crazy that you just said that.
Cool. You're welcome.
You're like, yes, I know.
I know. I'm amazing. Cool. Well, I'm very excited to see what else you create, other films, other writings, or just whatever you did, direction. I don't know, but wherever you do, I'm super excited. I feel like the world needs a lot more people like you, specifically in television because everyone wants television. Like this is how people collect information. So I'm really happy and honored that you're alive and doing this type of work. So thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you. This has been just a treat, a real delight.
Yeah. Okay, I will end this. Goodbye, everyone. Love you.